I was kind of lame today, so I thought we might just do something really simple for a video, and it really works out well with our decentralization series because we're going to be learning how to use Linux. First thing you need to do to learn Linux is
make a flash drive or a DVD with Linux on it.
Right? So let's go ahead and do that today, right now. Great. Now the first thing we need is to open up our web browser and go to rufus.ie. Rufus is a tool that allows us to burn or flash ISOs, which are image files or operating system files or CD files or whatever files onto a flash drive so that they can be booted too. So let's go ahead and get Rufus. You can go to rufus.ie, you scroll down and hit the biggest, boldest link there for Rufus. At this point it's 3.6, it doesn't matter what the version is, you just do the first one under the big download word. So I'm gonna click that and I'm gonna save it. Boom. And it goes right to our little downloads area there, or if you're in Firefox it'll be up here. Alright, fantastic. So now we have Rufus, I already have it installed right here, and you're going to open it and you're going to hit yes. Excellent. So it's going to give you some options for any USB flash drives that you have to write to. Now if nothing's showing up, your flash drive might not be plugged in yet, so you're going to want to plug in your flash drive and close and reopen the application. And that's the case for me right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, I plugged in my flash drive and we are now ready to burn whatever operating system we want on this flash drive. Technically speaking, this works with Windows too, but it's kind of hit and miss. So it says you can choose what you want to boot on there, and you can just leave it at the defaults. And it's waiting for an actual operating system to load that you're going to select from this file browser. Now we don't have an operating system downloaded yet. Here's how to do that. So the most popular operating systems that are available for download, as far as Linux distributions go anyway, are currently Linux Mint and Pop! OS. Now personally I use Pop! OS, but Linux and Mint is equally good, and you might actually be interested in the big one, the granddaddy of both of those, Ubuntu, if that's your thing. And this tutorial will work for all of them. If you wanted to download one of these, let's find the download button. I'm going to just use Ubuntu as an option. It says Ubuntu Desktop, and you usually want the LTS if you're a new user, because the LTS version of any Linux distribution is the one that's long-term support, aka not a beta. So I'm going to click the 8.04 LTS here, just as an example. And this is one of the easier ones to download, but it's not exactly the fastest download either. So it says right there it's going to save it as an ISO archive, which just means something that goes on a flash drive or a DVD. I'm going to hit save. Boom. Great. Now for the other ones, just so we know how that works, I can choose to download LTS here. Very, very similar. Now, for Pop! OS in particular, it gives you an option depending on what graphics card you have. If you don't know, choose Intel AMD. Either one really technically doesn't hurt, but on some computers that are NVIDIA, they need NVIDIA to boot properly. So I'm just going to click download here. And I'm going to save this, but I'm not really going to save it because I don't need it. I just want to show you how to download these the easiest way. So I'm going to go ahead and click download for Linux Mint, this big option up here. And the main version of Linux Mint, they really should make this big and bold. They should have done better with job with that. You can click 64-bit. If you're using a 32-bit one, I mean, that just doesn't happen anymore. Computers that old aren't made. So 64-bit is what you want of the Cinnamon desktop environment. That's the main Linux Mint version. If you're coming from Windows, I highly recommend Linux Mint Cinnamon. It's the easiest one to use. Now you can download it from any of these by clicking the mirror. Try to pick one that's close to you if you know any of these places, or if you're like an uber nerd, you should be clicking the torrent version. Be clicking that torrent version, because that's the one that's going to download the fastest and not putting any strain on anybody's servers. I usually click torrent, but for today you can just click one of these and see how it goes. and it's kind of slow from that one. Okay, here we go. Downloading. See? Same as all of them. Excellent. Alright, so now we have Ubuntu almost downloaded. We did it. Great. Excellent. So now that that's downloaded, we can pull Rufus back up again, and it's going to say, hey, what disk image do you want to select? Disk image just means that ISO file. Select, go to where we downloaded it, which is probably downloads, and there it is. There's Ubuntu. So now it sets it all up for us. It knows what Ubuntu is, and now we're ready to go. We just hit start, and it says, hey, this might destroy what's on the flash drive, and it totally will destroy what's on your flash drive already. So back everything up first, because that flash drive is gonna be put in. Okay, here we go, and just accept the defaults here. So if you ever have any questions with things like this, just look for something that says recommended. Read things carefully. That's the key to technology. Right? Okay. Yes, it was right. I know. Hit okay. Boom. And I'm gonna speed this up. And that's all there is to it, folks. Once that bar is green, you are ready to go with your bootable USB Linux flash drive. Now, in the next video, we're going to learn how to actually boot that USB flash drive on your computer. The link's going to be down in the description below, so go ahead and click that if you want to jump right into booting it on your computer. And if not, hang on after the break for some links to free stuff and some great offers on Linux computers. Catch you later. So it occurred to me that while we're at it, I might as well just show you how to make a flash drive for Linux booting on a Mac as well. So I just want to cover that real quick. To do that, you would just look up the application called Etcher, E-T-C-H-E-R. You can use Google, DuckDuckGo, whatever you want, and it'll say by Balena, B-A-L-E-N-A. We can choose that one. And Etcher you can also use on Windows instead of Rufus, but I find Rufus to be much less error prone on Windows than Etcher is. But in the case of a Mac, it'll work just fine. But if you look up Etcher, you just basically do the same process. It's very, very simple. You can use it on Linux as well, and it'll work just fine. Whatever you want to do. But it should be noted that Linux usually comes with its own USB image writer, so you probably don't need any tools for that. In fact, Macs kind of do too in the form of disk utility, but that's kind of hit and miss. So that's all for that. Hey everybody, so I hope that video was useful to you. There's another great resource I want to let you know about really early on in this decentralization series, because I've been mentioning it a lot. I partnered up with Integrity Computers, and they have agreed to help me out with some things. For one, you can get computers there preloaded with all the decentralization software that I suggest. All you have to do is ask. Two, they're the only place where you can really, as far as I know, get a computer that's an affordable value that actually has this software on it and no bloatware. There's no other place that does it. I've talked to them a lot. I said, hey, can we do this? And I know the guy who runs it. He's a friend of mine, met him in college. He said, you know what, Robbie, we can do that for you. So it's really nice. I mean, it's a niche service that gives you these privacy-based computers affordably. And I've talked to him about if we get this successful enough, if you spread the word, if you subscribe here, go talk to him, go subscribe to his Facebook page, buy some stuff from him. He gives me a teeny tiny percentage or whatever he feels is reasonable because he's a friend. You know what? We might be able to start offering privacy-centric smartphones as well. And that's a big deal because there's very, very few players in that market. Right now, the only one I know of is the Black Phone. I don't even know if they're around still, but they're super expensive, and it's just, nah. So check out Integrity Computers at integritycomputers.org. I'm going to put that in the bottom of the screen. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, check out my website, check out the subreddit. There's tons of resources on both these things. Once we start getting the community on the subreddit going, it's really going to be just a hive of information as well. Feel free to ask questions. One of the first rules on that subreddit is no question gets downvoted. We're all learners, right? Keep it family friendly, and I'll see you next time.